What's up, Giants fans? What's up, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Noname, back at it again with another Giants Talk episode. And before I get into the episode, I'd just like to say a quick happy Memorial Day to all of you out there. I know this is gonna be a week, 1 day early either way, but I still want to get that out there. Happy Memorial Day to all of you. Hope you guys that go out, have fun with your friends and family, any significant people in your life. Just have a nice day. To all the veterans out there, whether you're watching or not, I'd like to thank you for your service to this country and everything that comes with it. So, with that being said, let's get into Giants talk. OTAs day number 3 was on Thursday, May 23rd, and it was a day where the first time we had the practice indoors instead of outdoors because of little rain. They didn't want to really get anybody wet, I guess. So they moved to indoors, which isn't necessarily a problem. And we got to see a new level of the energy to both the offense and defense within this ball club here. I mentioned last time how I like that everybody, particularly the defensive backs, seemed to be playing with a heightened level of energy. They were really excited to be out there, and that, you know, that just sort of makes them want to do better with the trash talking and all that. They're motivating each other in a fun camaraderie type way. They all want to get better, and they're having fun while doing it. This time it wasn't just the defensive backs. It's noted across several beat reporters and media people for Giants that everybody had a sky-high level energy out there. Everybody was just a lot more invested within the practice, and they wanted to just go great against one another. They want to execute everything properly. So the one main thing that the offense focused on, since they were now indoors, was red zone work and a goal-to-go work. They did 7-on-7 and both team practice. And what this basically means is what it sounds like. For the red zone offense, it is them trying to get into the red zone, them trying to score a touchdown. They're they were put in that 20-25 yard zone, and they had to execute. The goal to go, one of them I'll be talking about later, would be not even a 2-minute but a 1-minute offense type situation where the team is placed down on their own 5-6 yard line, and they have to within 1 minute get down to the other end zone and score. So that's what it kind of mean by goal to go. What this all means together for the offense as a whole is that the quarterbacks, they had to be hitting everything on point. The receivers had to be playing well, and that on the defensive side, it means the defensive back, that secondary, had to be playing well. So that was the main point of this practice here today. They were trying to improve those three groups specifically. Of course, with Saquon Barkley, I guess you could count him as a receiving threat also, but the focus was going to be on quarterback to receiver, Manning to Shepard and all that. And with the receivers being in the red zone, this meant they had to be working on their short routes, their footwork within short, small spaces and all that. This was a lot more focused within short area passing, within, I guess, as some people call it, dink and dunk. Although in this situation, it isn't necessarily that. You're forced to throw short. This meant also that if running backs were involved, then they were probably going to be involved in the air more so than on the ground because of the time limit. Like I said, the defense, the secondary specifically, was heavily involved, and that allowed us to see a lot more of Sam Beal. Just like he did on the first day of OTAs, I think it was, when he tipped one of Eli's passes into the hands of Jabril Peppers. Sam Beal once again showed up. He made a couple of nice plays. DeAndre Baker, not necessarily making plays, but sticking to his guy. Nobody really gets open on him, sort of promoting that definition of himself being a lockdown corner. And just in general, the outside cornerbacks are performing really well. It shows promise for the future. I haven't really heard that much on Julian Love. Corey Ballantyne, though, he is making a good recovery physically, a good comeback. All I could say mentally is that I hope he recovers properly, because that's the main problem here. You could recover physically as quick as you can, as fast as you can, come back at top notch of your game, but mentally we don't know what's going on in his mind. Obviously he saw one of his best friends die in front of his eyes, so I hope everything is okay with him. Prayers out to Corey Ballantyne. Other than that, though, the secondary is looking extremely promising. Jack Rabbit is stepping into his role as a mentor there and doing a fine job. everybody just seems willing to work and really excited to be on this team. It's like, it's infectious. I'm not even there, but just reading about it and looking at the little highlights that they put up, it makes me giddy about the team. It makes me excited, and I hope that gets across to you guys, because I feel like we need to be excited for this team. I feel like we have good things coming in the future on both offense and defense. Going back to offense really quickly, the tight ends in general, most notably Evan Ingram, had a big day today. They were all getting passes down in the seam routes. I hope to see that continue. I want Evan to come back and have stable, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent hands, because that has always been one of his biggest knocks, other than the fact that he's not a great blocker, which he did improve last offseason. One of his biggest knocks were always that he dropped a lot of passes, he dropped a lot of balls. He improved a little bit down the stretch when he came back from his injury to the latter half of last year. So I hope with what we're seeing in training camp here, well, this is not training camp, but what we're seeing in OTAs here transfers over to training camp, and then from training camp it transfers over to the regular season. Because I think Evan Ingram, well, actually, I just have a feeling, and I think it's logically derived that he's going to be a huge part of this offense now with the way we're going to be spreading the ball around. Golden Tate, also a name not really heard of in OTAs so far, which isn't a bad thing. There's a lot of players, a lot of great players whose name you don't hear in teams' OTAs. But Golden Tate, he had a big day. He had a big deep post route that he caught that could have gone for a touchdown. He had pretty good catches in traffic, which is what he excels at. Catches in traffic and yards after the catch. He's doing his thing out there. Hopefully he adapts well to our playbook, and this offseason, this summer, gives him enough time to come in and be somebody with an impact on the offense. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about that goal 2, the goal 2 looks that they had today, the goal 2 situation looks that they were practicing today, wherein the starters of the team, the second string guys, and then the third string guys, they all went up against their respective group, and the offense will try to score within 56 seconds on the defense. So the first string offense would play against the first string defense, second string against second string, and so on and so forth. Now then, the thing that really excited me is that the only offense that scored was the first string offense. And since this is it's only 56 seconds you have to score from your own 6-yard line with no timeouts or anything like that, that meant Eli Manning performed extremely well with his passing game. And that's exactly what he did. He led his team down for a touchdown, had a great touchdown pass to wide open Benny Fowler. The defense couldn't really do anything against him. But obviously the second and third string guys, they played well on the defensive side. Daniel Jones couldn't do anything there. And I think it was Alex Tanney playing on third string. I'm not sure what happened to Laletta. I've seen some reports saying that he might have had a surgery or something. I'm not sure about that. If he is, good luck to him with recovering. Going back to Eli real quick, he was just on point today, similar to not today, but on Thursday. Similar to OTA's day number 2, where he was bombing everybody downfield. He was just completely sharp. Since it was more of a short field look, that's all he had to be. He just had to be accurate. He had to be on time with everything. That's what he was. He hit Evan Ingram down the seams, like I said. And Evan Ingram in general has just been really good so far in OTAs. Very difficult to cover. So that's enough about the offense. I want to talk a little bit about the defense here. More specifically, the pass rush. Like I've said in the last video, we've always gotten reports every single year out of Giants OTAs that the pass rush looks good, and then when the season comes, there's only been one season when we had a good pass rush in the past 5 years. That was 2016, where the defense played out of its mind. This year, we're not having the reports as much, which leads me to believe that what we're hearing is what we're gonna get. And what we're hearing from today was that Dexter Lawrence performed at the 3-4 end position instead of what a lot of people thought he was going to be performing at, the 3-4 nose tackle position. And I said this in my draft review video, I wouldn't be shocked if they put him at end, and then I stated in a later video they plan to use him throughout. Versatility is the word. I can't remember which video that was. If I find it, I'll put it up in the eye, but that's what they're trying to do with Dexter Lawrence, just make him a versatile player. And today at the end position, he performed well. He was seen in the backfield. Marcus Golden has consistently been seen in the backfield now. He's performed really good. He says he's feeling back to his old self, his 2017 self or 2016 self, I believe, when he had like 10.5 sacks for the Cardinals before he went down with his gruesome injury. So the pass rush, like I said, we're not hearing a lot, but from what we are hearing, it's good, relatively good. Then again, I don't really expect them to be reporting anything bad here. for most of the week, that's been stuff on the pass rush. And one interesting thing is that UDFA, undrafted free agent, this guy Jake Carla, he's actually a defensive back, but he was working out with the pass rush guys. He was working out with the end position guys, which makes me wonder. It's similar to Nate Harvey. I talked about him a little bit in my undrafted free agent video. He was actually an edge rusher that used to play running back, so he was extremely undersized, and because of that, he was one of the fastest edge rushers or the quickest edge rushers in the nation, and that gave him an edge on a lot of defensive players. So I'm wondering if that's what they're trying to do with this guy out of LIU post here. He's a defensive back, so he's extremely undersized compared to these linebackers and defensive ends that they're trying to work out with him, see how he goes, I guess. And then the final thing about the defense is that so far it looks like they have a healthy rotation at linebacker. In my opinion, the starting 4 at linebacker would be Lorenzo Carter, Alec Ogletree. That other middle linebacker spot is actually probably up for debate. I think it's going to be O'Shane Zimenez on the other side, because I just have a lot of faith in him. I'm really excited for him. But with the way Golden has been performing, if he continues this throughout training camp, he might be starting over Zimenez. So they have a healthy rotation. The only spot that's not really solidified yet would be that middle linebacker 2, which could go to Kareem Martin. It could be BJ Goodson, who they had there last year. It could even be Ryan Connolly, who may be a surprise to us coming up with this year. I don't know if that spot is really at a toss-up. So that's all I really got for you guys today. Recap of OTA day number 3. Just a quick thing, the offense is looking good. I expected this. Everybody expected this with the improvement of the offensive line. Defense is still a big toss-up. Secondary seems to be much improved from last year, and then everything else is just in for a loop. We'll see how it goes. That's all I got. Let me know what you all think. Like it, share, put your thoughts in the comments. I'm out.